Today is a very exciting day, and that's because today I decided to give you a plant tour. So especially during these colder months where it's just overcast and cold and sad, for me it super helps if I have a lot of gardening things to do inside. So houseplants have kind of become my sanctuary during the cold months. Time for a plant up. So first off, on my windowsill, I have an elephant bush. This one has actually done really well so long as I keep it in full sunlight. Anytime that I've had it away from direct sunlight, it doesn't do so great, but here in an east-facing window, it seems to do okay. Similar to a jade plant, it has these thick, bubbly leaves that are so cute. I kind of want to bite them, sink my teeth into them. Moving on. Can't remember the name of this one. Something silver cactus. This was actually a gift from one of my coworker friends. And so far it's done good. I was a little nervous to have a cacti because I've never really done cactus before. I think all cacti will do really well as long as they have enough sun and you don't overwater them. And next, well, we'll start with the succulent that I also don't know its name, and I've been trying so hard to find the name of this. It was just labeled as succulent. So I don't know what specific cultivar of succulent it is, and if any of you know, please plug a name in the comments because I would love to figure out how to actually take care of it. I did pot that cilantro, and so that's here on the windowsill as well, because you buy it from the store and it just gets wilty and it dies so fast. So if I just have a fresh supply, maybe it'll just produce lots for me as I need it. So up here in the corner is my, I believe it's pothos. Could also be pothos. Pretty sure it's pothos plant. This plant has been with me, believe it or not, since I was a newborn. The original plant was gifted to my parents say it was me, but I assume it was my mom at my birth. And so it's always been known as my birth plant. But what's fun about this plant is it's very easy to propagate. So I don't know if you remember seeing it in our renovation videos, but it's been around for a long time, and the top was actually looking really sparse, and it hadn't been repotted 26 plus years. So before I took it out of its pot, I decided that I wanted to propagate it, and I was planning to actually put all of the propagated leaves into the top just to kind of make it thicker and fuller. I ended up with a lot because I did the entire plant, so each of the vines, I propagated all the leaves, and I had enough that I gave a start to my sister-in-law, my mom, my sister Megan, as well as keep a couple for myself, which is crazy. The last thing in the kitchen is the aloe plant. So if you overwater them, they start to look like mine here on the left, where it's a little wilty and sad. So the aloe on the right is actually my sister Megan's. She doesn't get quite enough light in her room, and aloes do like a good bit of light, and hers has been doing so well. Like, its leaves are so thick and full because she doesn't touch it. She doesn't water it. I got my original starts from my mother-in-law, but she's had a monster aloe plant. I'm talking ginormous, filling the entire window in her kitchen. And she actually let me take that and harvest it. And there were a lot of little baby starts off of hers, and I took a couple back, and then that's when I potted Megan's and mine. And then from Megan's, because hers is so healthy, we've gotten 3 different starts off of that one as well. So I was actually able to give one of those to my mom, one to my sister-in-law, and then this little tiny one that we potted today. It looks a little small in its pot, but it'll fill it out quickly. They're fast growers when they're little. I do not know what the name of this one is. When I first got this plant, I was keeping it directly by a window that got a lot of direct sunlight, which I think was scorching the leaves, which is initially why I drew it back. I've kind of cut back on watering, hoping that in this new spot where it's not directly by the sun, and also watering just a little bit less, that it'll kind of come back to life. I don't know, it might not make it and we won't see it in the future. Next to it, we have this little, so it's most commonly referred to as a snake plant. The specific cultivar that I have, I believe, is a dwarf Laurenti, not sure how to pronounce that. This one has been very slow growing, and again, that could be just because it's a dwarf. If it's not a dwarf, then it's very slow growing because I've had it for a few years now. Right next to it is the Fiddly Fig, which I super love this plant. I just barely got this a couple months ago. It has these starchy, thick, kind of cardboard leaves. It's pretty much adorable. I actually propagated a small start from this, and I put it in its own pot. Because I loved it so much, I had to have two. Okay, this other cacti, this did come from IKEA. It was only labeled as a cactus. It didn't really say which cacti specifically, but based on my research, I believe it is a Euphorbia trigona, otherwise known as the African milk tree or cathedral cactus. So as it grows, those little leaves that are right by the spine should get a little bigger and kind of gets a little leafier. I loved the shape of this one. It kind of has that classic cactus, you know, western desert look. And there's like variegation in the spine where it's got this, you know, the different coloring where it's darker on the outside and brighter on the inside. I love that. This is a succulent that I got from my same friend that I used to work with. I've not been kind to it, although it's not intentional that I am killing it. We had it on our table for a long time and I think it just wasn't getting enough sunshine. So it's kind of been hopping around, which is also bad because I know that succulents require consistent sunlight. During the daytime I've been trying to put it in the sunshine so that it gets that warmth and those UV rays. And I've kind of cut back on the watering, which, let me tell you, one of the best ways to water any of your plants in wintertime is to use ice cubes. It seeps down slowly so that it isn't just like a sudden rush of water. I've been doing that for my cacti and my succulents, and they seem to be doing a lot better. It's hard to say because you make a change and then it takes a long time for that to manifest itself in the plant, but so far I think I'm seeing good changes, albeit slow ones. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you feel so inclined. As always, thank you so much for watching.